Welcome back to Halftime Habaneros with your hosts, Justin and Matt, here on the Champions Round channel. Make sure you guys download the app. But today, we are going to be talking NBA playoffs because we have our first matchup locked in. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. We're going to be diving into a lot of the storylines, the players, everything else. So make sure you guys tap in with us. Matt, this is going to be a pretty good matchup, man.
I'm excited. I feel like when the first official matchup is released and you can start looking at like the storylines and you can start looking at the predictions and all that stuff, it's really exciting. This is one of those series I feel like we've talked about in multiple videos leading up, and we were just waiting for it to be confirmed. I'm really interested to see what side you ride with. For me, it's all about who has like home court. Like I think both these teams are pretty evenly matched. Donvovan Mitchell has been fantastic as of late. He has just been awesome. And obviously, getting Jalen Brunson back and healthy is super important. But I want to hear your side of things first. I want to get your prediction out there.
You got to wait on that, man. We got to talk about a lot.
Okay.
We got to talk about a lot before you just get.
Fair.
I can't. It's like going on a date with a girl, Matt. First you got to wine and dine her. You got to feel it out a little bit.
I wanted the prediction.
You just trying to take it back to the house already. You got to wait, Matt. You got to wait, my man. So let's get into it, man, because this season has been like we've seen the Cavs and the Knicks kind of swap back in that 4 or 5 seed. And we talked about it, like you mentioned on the show, a lot because they've kind of been stuck in those same paths, right? That 4 or 5 seeding. So what do we need to see from this matchup? Obviously, one of the headlines this offseason was Donvovan Mitchell being traded from the Utah Jazz. There was a lot of talk about him going to the Knicks, potentially as a landing spot. It ended up being the Cavs. The Cavs now have vaulted themselves into the top 4 of the Eastern Conference. On the Cavs side, Matt, this team has a lot of youth, man. And with the addition of Donvovan Mitchell, they've looked like a different team at times this year. We've seen him on the court, off the court. Darius Garland's been off and on. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Like, they have the young core. When you look at this team, do you think Donvovan Mitchell can lead this team to a nice, deep playoff run? Or do you think this Knicks series is going to be a little more challenging than we thought?
I think this is going to be a tough series. But I do believe that Donvovan Mitchell can lead the Cleveland Cavaliers past the New York Knicks. I really do. I think, when you watch the Cleveland Cavaliers and you watch Donvovan Mitchell, like you said, this is a young team, but it's starting to come into their own. They started off the season on fire. They were awesome. And then they were kind of hanging around that 4 or 5 seed. I'm not going to give my prediction yet, even though I want to jump the gun.
Yes, no.
But I see 6 or 7. That's all I'm going to say. I think definitely this series is going to go 6 or 7. I think it's going to be a back and forth. I think home court is just so essential. Like I imagine, New York, Madison Square Garden is going to be absolutely rocking for the playoffs.
Yes. And this is the atmosphere. If you're a player, like if in any situation, you would love to be in this scenario, in the Garden, in a competitive series. Now, Donvovan Mitchell to me is the type of player I've always been kind of hard on him. I think I've talked about it on here where, smaller guards who lead teams typically don't go far in the playoffs. Like it's not a lasting strategy. You want to have either a bigger guard or a big that kind of takes the helm, takes over the helm. And it's like, with Donvovan Mitchell, we've seen him score. We've seen him, be that guy, but it's never led to any playoff success. It's never led to any long-term success for a team in the postseason. So when I look at this team, they're young. Is he the piece? Now, I think he'll have a 40-point game, a 50-point game, a very high-scoring output. And this Cleveland Cavaliers team is the best defensive team in the league. So I know they can get stops. Now, when it comes to Donvovan Mitchell, though, I have my concerns. Is it going to be him trying to do too much and take the team on his shoulders? Or is he going to be able to is there going to be somebody else on this team, whether it's Mobley, Garland, Karis LeVert, who's had big postseason games performances before? Who is going to step up for this Cleveland Cavaliers team? I think that's the biggest question I have for the Cavs moving forward. What is interesting, though, is that this series has flip-flopped throughout the year. The Knicks looked really strong after it was like January. They turned it up, and then that team has kind of fallen by the wayside now. So they've dropped down to the 5th seed while both teams haven't been playing bad. It's just Cleveland was playing a little bit better during the stretch where you absolutely needed to get home court advantage. But with this team, New York is going to be on the road now. If they would have had home court advantage, maybe I would have taken this a different way. But it's going to be a tough series, no doubt. And we've seen the return of Jalen Brunson. He dropped 48 the other day against this Cleveland Cavaliers team. But the one question mark is the health of Julius Randle, who's dealing with an injury right now. they must get a healthy Julius Randle before this playoff series even begins. Like, he has to get back in there. Do you think the Knicks, with all their playoff struggles that they've had in the past and the injuries that they've kind of dealt with this year, getting chemistry locked in, you think the Knicks have what it takes offensively to muster up some offense against this tough Cleveland Cavaliers defense?
I don't. I think the Cavaliers are going to win it in 6. I think Donvovan Mitchell is going to average like 35, 36 in the series. I think this team is going to get out of the first round. I don't see them making it past there. But overall, if you're a Cavaliers fan, you got to be excited. The Knicks, I love the Knicks. And I was rooting for, after the Josh Hart trade, Tibbs will always be my guy as a Bulls fan. So I was excited about the Knicks playing well. But I just don't think this is a great matchup for them.
I think experience comes in play for the Knicks, and they have talent. They've made postseason runs before. I think they have that aspect. But what I don't feel like they have is enough talent to keep up with Cleveland, and they don't have home court advantage. The combination of both of that, I don't think can trump the experience. Now, Jalen Brunson on this team, we've seen him in the playoffs, and he's been very, very strong. He was for the Mavs last year, a very important piece. He's going to be that again this year for a Knicks team. So he's not somebody I would ever count out because he single-handedly won that Dallas Mavericks team games last season. So when I look at this series overall, Matt, and I have to make a prediction, I'm going Cavs in 7. And I say that only because of the home court. If this was finishing up in New York, I'd probably be on the Knicks side.
I was going to ask you, okay, so if it was flipped, you would maybe lean with whatever team. Okay.
Yeah, I think the Knicks with the home court with that 4 seed, it would have been a little bit different going into Madison. I know Donovan's had some incredible games at Madison Square Garden, but to go into Madison Square Garden 4 times and only have 3 games on your home floor would be a little bit different. So I think coaching, Tibbs has been in this position many times before. Yeah. So I give the coaching advantage to him. But at the same time, I feel like this series, it's going to be one of those series. Remember the Utah-Denver series, how we saw Jamal Murray, Donvovan Mitchell. Yeah. Bro, we have to do a re-look at that at some point, man, because that series was incredible. I'm not saying this will get to that level, but I do think we'll have the same type of back and forth.
Yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys drop down below your predictions. Again, if you have not checked out Champions Round, I'm sure they're going to have tons of different fun stuff, content revolving around the NBA playoffs. For myself, Matthew, or M-Bone, and Mr. Justin, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.